To understand why it appears I'm able to be located or seen when I'm in the flat, which I may not have made clear in the previous video, take a look at the flat I exist, which is number 11, and the flat where there's verbal abuse being directed at me, which is number 3. Flat 7 is in the middle and is now a vacant flat as the previous gang-stalking neighbours have moved out or escaped punishment, hopefully temporarily. When I go to the balcony to make that short recording, there's no way anyone in flat 3 would know my intention. I don't start banging drums or singing at the top of my voice to announce my arrival on the balcony. Yet one of the females in flat 3 says, "You're the weirdo wanker." Surely what she says indicates she knows I'm there. By specifically saying "you're" rather than "he" demonstrates she and whoever else was in the flat know my whereabouts. One of the other phrases recorded at the time and said by a different female is "burn him," and that phrase, along with weirdo, wanker and others, is one I've recorded strangers and residents directing at me. The two sets of gang-stalking neighbours in flat 7 from 2013 to 2023 are black, as was my first gang-stalking neighbour at the previous Peckham address. I state this not because I believe they bore any racist hatred towards me. I doubt gang-stalkers care about your colour, but only about rewards for taking part. What all of my gang-stalking neighbours have in common is being evil. You might detect an accent when I'm being verbally abused, which is why I state their colour, and why you may not hear the slurs clearly enough on first listening, so you may have to play back what's said multiple times to hopefully hear the abuse being directed at me. Since the gang-stalking neighbour and her brood moved out some weeks ago from the flat directly below at number 7 Dayak Court, I did try sleeping here one time some days after their escape, but even with what should be a vacant flat underneath, I still experienced burning and deep aches, and these were to those parts of my body facing the flat or flats below. They also seemed more intense than the burning I get when sleeping in the car. I did try sleeping in different parts of the flat and on the balcony, but the burning followed me. Both sets of previous gang-stalking neighbours in flat 7 have always had that special ability of knowing where I was when in the flat. Do please listen to my audio files linked to in the description below. So, am I physically seen here, or did they have hardware that could locate me? Now there's a question needing an answer, but it's unlikely mainstream media journalists will investigate, and we just need to look at their reporting or lack of investigations these last 3 years into everything related to COVID to know how biased and unprincipled they have been. It rained all evening a few days ago. Rain has never prevented me from riding to the car for my sleep before. I was tired and thought I'd try sleeping in the flat again, or more accurately on the balcony where I have that mattress and a couple of pillows. I got to sleep within half an hour or so, and I never have a problem getting to sleep. But I'm woken by the burning. It's like sunburn mixed with a deep aching, and was more painful than when I'm in the car. And as before, the areas affected are those facing the flat or flats below. When I turn over and try to sleep on my left side, the burning will affect the outer area of my left leg and body, and to a lesser degree my head, those parts which are also facing flat 7 and flat 3. And now to a Katie Hopkin video where she talks about her hot vagina, Hugh Edwards' rectum, Jennifer Arcuri, Boris Johnson, Alex Belfield, Rosie Jones, Lovely Mark, and BBC's new and brilliant comedy called Verify. I was already aware of the new comedy platform Verify, and the last time I looked at their pages, there wasn't much to see. But yesterday I saw they were asking for topics from viewers which they could investigate and verify as being misinformation, disinformation, or genuine. Needing some humour in my gang-stalked life, I typed gang-stalking into their submission box and added the link to my OneDrive folder where, among some of my evidence-based videos, is a news-oriented one. If only the BBC or any other mainstream media news broadcaster would air something similar to that news item. But they won't. They'll talk on topics of stalking, revenge porn, spying, and police corruption, yet those very same topics which form some, but not all parts of my gang stalking, and maybe other targets of the secret operations, are ignored because gang stalking is a subject apparently that should never be mentioned on mainstream media.
We have some very important breaking news. Information has come our way which very worryingly incriminates London's Metropolitan Police in secret targeting operations against members of the public. An individual has come forward and informed us about the police's participation in what is euphemistically called gang stalking. We can verify this person is a high-ranking official. These covert operations utilise personnel to stalk, harass and spy on the individual. A smear campaign is a common theme too, and it's alleged the state will even stoop to using revenge porn and make it public to help deperson the target and help get members of the public on side. Of equally grave concern, people are moved in to become paid professional neighbours from hell and are provided with the technological means to carry out targeted noise campaigns, to sleep deprive and accurately target and harass the life out of that individual. Technology has a crucial role helping to furtively destroy these people. In no uncertain terms, this is an invisible state-sanctioned torture program. To back up these very valid claims of the police being implicated in gang stalking, we have watched a video from one male who alleges he is a target. We can confirm it shows undeniable evidence of a character assassination. Worryingly, the police, instead of acknowledging the veracity of this very credible evidence, have gaslit it. Why would they do this unless they were involved in this illegal targeting program? An independent source, one who works in the field of professional counselling, has also watched the video containing some of the evidence and typed a brief report on his findings. It makes for some very troubling reading and certainly contradicts completely the police's assessment. From a neutral perspective, we have to agree with the counsellor. Something quite sinister is going on and we would like to get to the bottom of it. This individual lives in Peckham, southeast London. He lives in this top-floor flat with his brother and consents to his address being shown. He has told us his targeting began back in 2009, shortly after he attended a protest in the Square Mile area of London. He was there to take photos for his personal website, photoslondon.com. He was kettled by the police at this protest. From then to now, he has been subjected to the various components used in these targeting operations. We would strongly urge Scotland Yard to address these accusations of their part in the gang-stalking targeting programme and why they saw fit to gaslight very credible evidence of character assassination, among other disturbing actions, including unwarranted mental health referrals. We request Cressida Dick's replacement or spokesperson for New Scotland Yard to make an open and honest public statement on this, please, as a matter of urgency. And on that bombshell, we'll be back tomorrow at 6 with more London-wide news stories. So have a good evening and bye for now.